What's going on, guys? Lone Driver Mike again, bringing you another video. Guys, how's it going? You're not gonna fucking believe what happened tonight with the Doordash order. So get this, I get this order around 9:02, right? And this is with Doordash. It was like at a Thai restaurant or something. And I receive it about 9:02, right? 9:02. So, you know, when I receive an order with Doordash, I don't care what the pickup time says or drop-off time. I go immediately to the restaurant. I see if it's ready, and if it's ready, I pick it up and I go immediately to the drop-off. Like, I go and deliver it as soon as possible. So lately, I've been on top of Doordash, and I've just been on time. I've been like extra early, and customers are like, "Wow, that's like, you're really early, what the hell?" You know, and they're just like, they're surprised, but then they're happy. So my ratings are going up, and just everything's going up. And yeah, I'm working in a new area tonight, so it's pretty good. But anyways, yeah, I got this order around 9 o'clock because if you didn't know this already, Doordash texts you every single time you get an order. So you can actually see the orders that you get, that you accept and decline. So if it's declined, it'll say a text message right after. It'll say, "You missed this opportunity." So usually that's it only says that is if you decline the order. So I accepted 17 orders tonight, and I actually declined 4 orders because it just wasn't worth it for me. So I ended up checking the text messages. So that's a way you can double, you know, Doordash accuses you, if the customer accuses you of, you know, being late or whatever the reason is, you can be like, "Look, I received your order at this time, 9:02. I dropped it off at this time." You know what I'm saying? So it's actually a good thing to screenshot your orders as soon as you accept the order, as soon as you drop it off. Screenshot the name of the restaurant, the customer's name, you know, maybe the items, what they ordered, just in case. You never know when Doordash calls you and asks about this order for Monica or for Joe or for Sarah or for whoever, whatever the name is, Jose, Miguel, whatever the name is. You know, you can go back in your records and you can say, "I don't keep records, but I screenshot my orders now, so give me 1 second," right? So they called me. So anyways, I dropped this order off about 9:23. So that order, that Thai order that I'm talking about right now, guys, I accepted it at like 9:20 or 9 o'clock, and I dropped it off around 9:20. So it only took me a grand total of 20 minutes from the time I accepted to the time I dropped it off. So sometimes you'll have orders that you accept it right away, and say you accepted at 9 o'clock, and then, you know, screenshot as soon as you drop it off, screenshot when you dropped it off. And, you know, you also want to make sure that you're on time and everything like that. But literally, Doordash texts you every time you get an order. Whether you want to decline it or not, you get, actually, it's a paper trail. They show you all the orders that you received, and it'll tell you what restaurant it's from. That's all it says. Now, if you want to keep track of like how much the miles were and how much they were going to pay you for that order, you have to screenshot every time the order pops up. You can screenshot it, and that's it. It's so simple. And then if you have to go back and do a reference check, or you have to look up an order that you dropped off, you could be like, "Oh yeah, I got this order at 9 o'clock, or "Oh yeah, I dropped it off 20 minutes later, 9:23 p.m. You know what I'm saying? So you have record of all that. So not only do they text you when you get an order, but they text you when you get an order, but then if you reject it, it's still there. Like, that text message is still there, so you can find out exactly how many orders that you're accepting and declining, and from which restaurants. You know what I'm saying? So you can do that. Anyone can do that. But if you want to be more detailed, then screenshot every time you get the order, every time you drop it off, and then even screenshot what type of food they ordered and all that kind of shit. So if you drop it off and Doordash or the customer calls you, you can say, "Okay, I screenshot your order. Give me 1 second. I'll see what it said," or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So there's no bullshit about it. But anyways, when I dropped it off, it was to a business, and there were two people there. So I'm like, okay, so I'm assuming it's for them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just, you know, I mean, you get an order, you drop it off to the order, whatever address that it says in the app, and that's all we can do. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You do your job, and that's it. You know? So yeah, I drop it off, and they're like, oh, hi, who are you? You know, what's up? You know, and so it sounded like they didn't know who I was, but I'm like, oh, I have an order for Monica. So I showed them the order and everything. They're like, oh yeah, that's for us. Like she must have bought us food. How nice of her. And they said like, oh, she knew we were working tonight or something like that, and she must have thought about us or something. So, and people actually do that. People buy, you know, when I was dating this one chick, I would always buy her food. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, buy her Chinese food or whatever. And I know where she works, so I just put her address and all that, and every now and then she'd get a nice little surprise from me. You know what I'm saying? So people do buy other people food at their expense. Like I bought that for her, and then so I'm thinking, okay, this is just one of those occasions. You know what I'm saying? So they were really nice, and I'm like, okay, good, have a good day. And then I repeated the address. I'm like, this is the address, right? And they said, yeah, that's this address. I'm like, okay, then I'm at the right place. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know who Monica S is? You know, Monica? And they're like, yeah, we know who that is. I'm like, okay, sounds good. You know what I'm saying? Have a good day. That's all I can do. Verify the customer, verify the address. That's all we can do. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I dropped it off, and then all of a sudden I get an Applebee's order. I'm like, hell yeah. So that was around 9:23. So about a couple minutes after I dropped that order off, I got another order. So I got proof of everything that I picked up, dropped off. Then I got another order for Applebee's, right? So that order for the Thai food place, it's already done. I confirmed that I dropped it off. So in DoorDash's system, I don't know what's going on with that, but they're supposed to they should be able to pull up my account and see all the orders that I did and didn't do and when I dropped it off. They're supposed to get notified on that. The DoorDash, when they call you and everything. So anyways, I'm waiting for this Applebee's order, right? And it's taking a long time, so I'm getting frustrated. But you know, what can I do about it? You know, I'm like, man, it's just like some chicken wings and just like some finger foods. I'm like, those are just, you just put those in the fryer and they're done, they're ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I'm like, fuck, this is taking so long. So I text the customer, I'm like, hey, I want to apologize. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's taking a while because the restaurant, Applebee's, they have a lot of orders right now and everything. And he didn't respond, but I think, he must have read it or something. But anyways, I get a phone call from DoorDash. So I'm like, all right, so this is probably about the order I have right now for Applebee's. So I pick up the phone, and and I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but when you speak to me and I can't understand you, or you're not speaking clear English, I'm sorry, I just got frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, if I can't understand what you're saying, I can't give you a response, because you're asking me a question and I don't know the answer to, or maybe I can't even understand what you're saying. So he was like, hey, yeah, we have an order here for Monica. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here? So then I start getting pissed, and then the Applebee's people are just looking at me, because when DoorDash calls you, they don't care if you have a current order or if you're still delivering or if you're driving. They just want to talk to you and get information from you. So I might be all of a sudden driving to the customer, or I might be waiting at the next restaurant, or I might be dropping off at the customer's house and I haven't dropped off the food yet and they're calling me. So DoorDash, they don't really care if you're like in the middle of traffic, or you're driving, or you're distracted, or you're busy at the moment. They don't really care. So when DoorDash called me, I was getting frustrated because I was waiting for this order, and and then like some of the Applebee's employees were staring at me, looking at me. So I wanted to go outside to talk to DoorDash, but my order was going to be ready soon. So I'm like, if I leave Applebee's outside, they're not going to come and find me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, I need to wait here in the Applebee's, so when the order's ready, I can just grab it and go. So I'm like, yeah, I'm waiting at the restaurant. And then the DoorDash dude was like, okay, you need to re-deliver it. This order's for Monica. I said, no, this order's for Paul. And he's like, well, in my system here, it says you have an order for Monica. So I don't know if like DoorDash, if it's just like a call center and they're out in the Philippines, so there's like a 30-minute lag or something. But I'm like, I don't know who Monica is. I have an order for Paul. So I wasn't thinking that, oh, this was for the previous order. Because I don't remember all the names and everything, man. Seriously. I love my job, but I took 17 orders. So if you're going to say, oh, this order for this person and all this, you got to like explain what restaurant, what time, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what order you're talking about. The only order I had on my phone was said Paul for Applebee's, and that's it, right? So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I told the guy on the phone. I could hardly understand him. He kept rumbling and he kept interrupting me. And I hate that. You know, it's just like, just let me talk, you know what I'm saying, and everything, and just let me explain myself. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, but you are the current dasher, you know, and he kept like questioning me. And I'm like, look, man, I don't know what else to say to you, but I can hardly understand you. I have the order for Applebee's. I'm still waiting for the food. It's for Paul. Now, have the customer call me. I told him, I said, have the customer call me because I can't even understand what you're saying. But just to let you know right now, as of right now, sir, I don't know what his name was, but he worked for DoorDash. He was calling me about an order for Monica that she wanted to change the address or something, but I already dropped it off. If I don't have an order on my screen, it doesn't say Monica, that means I must have dropped it off already, or you called the wrong DoorDash person. And he claims, oh, I'm the person assigned to the order. I said, okay, well, I don't know what to say. It must have been dropped off already. You know, I don't know what you're talking about. I have an order for Paul right now for Applebee's. So I don't know if he just was not thinking correctly or what. But see, DoorDash, they should be able to go on the computer. Oh, he already dropped it off. So then all you have to do is call the customer and say, hey, looks like we didn't contact Mike in time to tell him that you put the wrong address. You know, and I hate that DoorDash, when they call you, it seems like they're trying to like blame you, like what happened with this order. And like they don't go on the attack, but it's just kind of like, it just seems like they assume it's just automatically your fault, right? The customer saying, oh, I need to change my address, but then it's like I already dropped off the order. So I'm like, so anyways, he said, oh, I'm sorry for the confusion, sorry for interrupting you. I said, it's fine, I just have an order right now for Paul, if you want, you know. And anyways, I'm just like, the customer can call me, because the DoorDash people, they speak a different language, man, and they have a thick accent, and I'm not trying to be rude, but, you know, have the customer call me, okay, and then we can resolve the problem, man. But they don't do that. The customer calls DoorDash instead of calling me or texting me ahead of time. And anyways, I dropped it off already. So I'm like, what the hell's going on with this dude, man? He didn't hear what I said, or he can't look up on the computer? I don't understand that. DoorDash, they don't give the information to the call center people, or what? They should be able to look up my account, say, okay, he dropped off this order already. His current order is for Applebee's. So let's call Monica back and tell her he already dropped it off. You know, we apologize. You want to talk to him and find out where he took it or what? You know, because I'm not lying about it. I dropped it off at the address you gave me. So anyways, we get off the phone, all this, you know, and then when I'm talking to the dude, I'm like, I don't have an order for Monica, I have an order for Paul. I don't know what you're talking about. And then like, it looked like a manager at Applebee's was staring at me. I don't know what that was about. I'm like, dude, this is none of your business. You know what I'm saying? He stopped and stood there like he wanted to ask me like, oh, is there a problem or what? Or, you know, but I was still on the phone with DoorDash. So I'm like, I'm not going to talk to you and then talk to DoorDash at the same time. You got to wait your turn. But it had nothing to do with the Applebee's order. You know what I'm saying? And then finally I told the guy, I'm like, I'm waiting at the Applebee's order. I already contacted the customer, and he got notified that there's a delay, and this order's for Paul at Applebee's. They're still making the order. And I said, I know it's late, but, you know, it's running behind, you know. I was really nice about it, but I kind of spoke, you know, I kind of let everyone in the Applebee's kind of hear, like, okay, you know. But it's like, I can't hear what he's saying, and I got to speak loud or he doesn't understand me. And I'm still in the Applebee's waiting for the order. But anyways, long story short, we get off the phone. I'm thinking in my head, he finally figured out that I already dropped off the order, because I don't get nothing for a while. That was about, 9:45. 9:45 he calls me. So 25 minutes after I dropped off that order, he calls me about the order, right? I'm like, what the heck is going on, man? But anyway, so that was 9:45 is when he called me. I dropped off the order at 9:23. So about 25 minutes later, the customer is acting like, oh, I need to change my address. But the Doordash app notifies you when I pick up the order, and I know this for a fact because I order as a customer as well. So I'm like, is this girl stupid, or is this lady dumb or something? She didn't look at her app and saw that I delivered the food. So any smart person would have just called me right away, or instead of waiting until the last minute, so I dropped it off 20 minutes and they called me 20 minutes later. So from when she placed the order around, I would say around whatever time, I got it around 9, so maybe she placed it around 9, and then she found out, oh, my order is missing, or she don't know where her order is, so let me tell them to deliver to this. But the app tells you where I'm at and where that it's been dropped off and everything. And they get notified when I arrive at the restaurant, when I leave the restaurant. So I'm thinking, why the heck didn't the customer call me before I dropped it off to the address she gave me? Or she could have simply texted me and said, oh shoot, I gave you my work address. I apologize. Can you deliver to my house, please? I'll give you extra money for the tip or whatever. But DoorDash, they give a reroute bonus anyways. Like if it's a different address, they give you a little extra anyways. But anyways, so then I get the Applebee's, I drop it off, right? Then all of a sudden I get a McDonald's. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. So I was just like back to back from like 9 till 11. I was just getting orders left, back to back to back. As soon as I drop it off, I get another one. So I got the McDonald's, picked it up, ordered the food. I was really early to that one too. Ordered the food, picked it up. On the way to the customer's house, I get a call from DoorDash again. I'm like, are you kidding me, man? Are these people stupid or something? They don't have a computer that tells them that, oh, he dropped off the order already. You know what I'm saying? Well, what am I going to do with the order? I dropped it off already at the thing, at the address that the customer gave me, man. Come on. So anyways, that was about, about 10:11. So that was about, since the last guy talked to me about the order at like 9:45, 10:11, so 25 minutes later, 15 plus 10, right? Yeah. 25 minutes go by again. So now it's been about an hour since the customer, about 20. Yeah. Anyways, I dropped it off about 9:20, and then they called me about the first time at 9:45, the second time at about 10:11. And she's talking about the order and all this. I said, look, I already dropped off this order. I had 2 orders after this. I'm like, I have a McDonald's order I still need to drop off. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'll finish talking with you, but this customer's waiting for her food still. And she's like, wait, you did 2 more orders after this other order? I said, yeah, I dropped it off an hour later. And she's like, oh my god, and she was like saying something about the customer was calling and saying to change the address. And I don't know what they don't understand, but I was trying to explain. I dropped it off already and it's done with. You know what I'm saying? So I explained, I dropped it off at the address that the customer gave me, and that's it. And it's just frustrating because it's like, I don't know, they kept acting like it's my fault. She's like, oh, well, the customer's at the restaurant now, and simply I just interrupted her. I said, look, it's the customer's fault, okay? If I would have got notified beforehand, then I would have delivered to her address. But why did she not call me? Why didn't she text me? Why didn't you guys call me before I dropped off the order? You know what I'm saying? I said, I dropped off this order an hour ago. This was a long time ago. And she's like, well, the customer's at the restaurant. And I said, why is she at the restaurant? I already picked up the order and dropped it off. It makes no sense to even go to the restaurant. Why don't she go to the address that her work, And I told him, I'm like, I dropped it off with 2 people, and they should still be there. I mean, I don't know. And so I'm just like, look, man, if you guys are ordering on the DoorDash app and you don't update your address in time, it's going to be delivered to the wrong address. So I'm telling you. And so her friends, I guess her coworkers or something, got her food, and they thought that she was ordering for them. And so that's what they said. I said, okay, that's fine, whatever. That's why I confirmed the address and the name. And they said, yeah, we know who that is, and this is the address. So I said, okay, that's fine. So, and I told DoorDash, I'm like, look, man, I delivered that order an hour ago, and then this is and I took an Applebee's, and now this is the second order, McDonald's. So since I dropped off that order that you guys are talking about, I dropped off an Applebee's and a McDonald's. So you guys are very, very late. Not DoorDash, the customer. So she's over here calling to change the address, but it's already too late because I dropped off the order, man. That just really pissed me off tonight because I was getting pissed. I got pissed at Applebee's, people staring at me and everything. I couldn't just walk out of the Applebee's and talk to the DoorDash because I was still waiting for the order. I wanted to hurry up and get the order. They were slacking it, you know what I'm saying? And then the second time they called, I was still trying to drop off the McDonald's order, and I didn't drop it off yet because they called me. I wanted to pick up the phone and explain to them that I already picked up the order, dropped it off, so it's actually the customer's fault. So finally she said, okay, Michael, I understand. And I just, and sometimes they just talk over you, and then, but I'm just like, look, let me explain. She put the wrong address and everything. I never got notified, you know what I'm saying? So that's her own fault. She's like, okay, we'll call the customer and let her know and everything. I said, she can talk to her coworkers. I told her coworkers to call her too. I said, call her up because I don't know her number, you know what I'm saying? Because I was going to drop it off and be done with it. Because I ended up getting another order anyways. So I don't know why they didn't call the customer. Why didn't they call to confirm anyways? But maybe I'll do that from now on. I understand. But anyways, it's the customer's fault, man. You put the wrong address, and you don't tell us in time that before we drop it off, that's your own fault. You know what I'm saying? So I told DoorDash that. Hopefully they understand. But I don't understand how they don't get notified on the computer that I already fucking dropped off the order. Like they're supposed to have record of that. So I guess wherever they're at, the Philippines or wherever, I guess there's a lag or something. Or maybe I have to end the dash first for them to get notified that I dropped it off and at what time. They're supposed to have all the records of that. You see what I'm saying? So they're calling me up about an order an hour ago. And I'm like, you guys don't get notified and shit, man? I was like, what the fuck? Are you serious? I just could not believe it, man. I'm serious. That just pissed me off. But anyways, I mean, her coworkers got some free food tonight, so she can talk to them. They'll probably tell her tomorrow morning and shit. Well, DoorDash already called the customer. So anyways, it's resolved now. I mean, it's not really resolved, but it's figured out now. But the fact that they had to call twice about the same order, they couldn't figure out that I already dropped off the order. And the first guy was like, oh, it says you've been assigned to this order. I said, no, it's done with, man. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? I was so pissed. So anyways, if you're a customer with DoorDash, make sure the address is correct, because if you put the wrong address, man, I'm not making any promises. You're going to get your food correct to your house. You know what I'm saying? So seriously, man, I mean, seriously figure it out, because if I pick it up and drop it off within 20 minutes, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty fucking fast. I was shocked myself when I checked the records. I'm like, oh wow, I got this at like 9, I dropped it off like at 9:20, and then I got the Applebee's for like 9:23. So you see what I'm talking about? So guys, if you're gonna order DoorDash or any kind of food delivery, make sure your address is correct, because I don't have time for that, man. If you could notify me before I drop it off, then that would be cool, because I can't go back to the address and be like, hey, Monica just called and said that she still needs her food, so I guess she didn't want to deliver to you guys. You know what I'm saying? She made a mistake or whatever. But they probably already ate it, 20 minutes later, an hour later. They already ate that food, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, I mean, we all made mistakes, but the first mistake was from the customer, because the customer is supposed to change the address. Then the second and the third mistake is from, well, DoorDash, because they didn't notify me. Well, because the customer didn't even call me, didn't text me. I get a fucking call from DoorDash at 20 minutes later asking about an order for Monica, and I'm like looking at my phone, and I got an order from Paul for Applebee's. So I'm like, I didn't put two and two together, because I'm taking a lot of orders every day, guys. And so if you're a customer, just call me up, man. Don't call DoorDash and have DoorDash call me, because they don't know what the fuck is going on. They're behind 30 fucking minutes, you know, and they're calling me 30 minutes later than they're supposed to. And it's like, what the hell is going on, man? You guys were supposed to call me a long time ago about this order. So I don't know if the customer didn't, maybe the customer called DoorDash and then DoorDash didn't call me soon enough. I don't know what the hell happened. I just know I did not get notified in time. You see what I'm talking about? So I could not believe that, man. I'm like, are you kidding me? You guys, I already dropped this order off, man. So anyways, DoorDash, get your shit together, and customers, make sure you just call me directly. Don't call DoorDash. Okay, DoorDash, their call center is out in the Philippines, and they don't know what the hell's going on. You know what I'm saying? Half the time, they don't even know what the hell they're talking about. So if you want to know what happened with your order, please call me, or please text me, or, you know, you put the wrong address, please let me know. Hey Mike, is this Mike from DoorDash? Hey man, I'm so sorry, I feel like a moron. You know, actually I put the wrong address and everything, so do you think you could deliver to my house now and everything? You know, I apologize. Most people are really cool about it, you know, but this girl didn't call me, didn't text me. She decided to call DoorDash instead, and they were slacking it, and they didn't call me right away. And, you know, I get a phone call 20 minutes after I drop it off already. I could not believe it, man. But anyways, guys, sorry it's dark, you can't see my face, but it's 12:18 at night, so excuse me. So anyways, you know, my other videos you can see my face and everything, but oh well. Anyways, guys, please like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, guys, that's it. That's all I've got to say. All right, guys, peace out and see ya.